down to the mat. Can be spread wide or together, and then bring your forehead down to the mat. And then your hips towards your heels. If you have to choose one between forehead to the mat or hips towards heels, always choose forehead to the mat. Once you have settled into your child's pose, just make a conscious effort to arrive. When you exhale, push out that which doesn't serve you for the next 30, 40 minutes. When you inhale, just sip in something fresh, something new. A little bit of focus on just your body, your mat, your breath. Feel the rise and fall of the back as you breathe. And when you're in a bit of a rhythm, you can go ahead and cultivate your Ujjayi Pranayama, the oceanic breath, inhaling deeply through the nose, and then exhaling, pushing the air up and out the back of the throat and out of the nose. Mouth stays closed. Keep going with that breath as we work to build heat in the core. Try to elongate those inhales and exhales. Send air all the way down into the bottom half of your body. Focus on the hips today. So just picture breathing air into all of those little crevices around the hip bones, the pelvis, everywhere where it might feel a little sticky. Just breathe deeply. Trying to wake up all the little different parts of the body. You can set an intention for your practice today. If you're going with mine, today's focus will just be on the little things. So thinking about the little building blocks, be it the breath, tiny adjustments you can make that activate your body, your mind throughout practice. Just controlling the little things that you can control that are within your purview, making those work for you. When you've got the intention, the breath, slowly come up to a tabletop, but get the knees wider. So bring the hips up, but open the knees up towards the outside of the mat. Since we're focusing on the hips, we will just go ahead and work on a little bit of movement here in this tabletop. So hips are up, toes are touching in the back, and the knees are spread wide. Just drop your booty back towards your hips, or your heels, should I say, and then lean it forward. Your shoulders come a little past your wrists. Drop it back, and move it forward. You can arch the back a little when you go forward, and round the back when you take the booty back towards the heels, getting a little bit of cat-cow into this. Finding a little mobility, movement in the shoulders and the hips to start. Breathing deeply as you move. Last one, and then we come on up to a tabletop. Bring the knees into hips width distance, shoulders stack over wrists. You move to a supported side plank. So take that left foot, swing it out to the left side, right foot steps back and comes down onto the ground. Right hand lifts, supported side plank. Your left knee and shin stabilize you. You can go ahead and look up at that top hand, and then press that right pinky toe edge of the foot down into the mat. Pull up on the arch. Try to stack this right hip over the left. So roll that right hip up and then back, almost like you could pull your right butt cheek down on top of the left. Don't let your head fall down. Instead, reach it actively forward. One long line of energy from the heel, up the leg, the spine, and out the crown of the head. And then option to lift that right leg, no higher than the hip, flex the foot, balancing on the left leg. That right foot extends out long, foot is flexed. And imagine you're stomping a heel onto a wall at the back of the mat. Pull up on that kneecap, activate through the whole leg, inhale. Exhale, gently bring the right leg down, the right hand down, and come on back to a tabletop. We do the same thing on the other side. Right leg swings out to the right, left leg steps back, and you lift that left hand up. Roll the left shoulder up and back, stack left shoulder over right, and then roll the left hip up and back, stacking that left hip over the right, squeezing that left butt cheek in and down. One long line of energy from the left heel at the crown of the head. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Option to lift that left leg up like it's coming straight out of your hip. Flex that left foot. You can always bring that left hand onto your hip if you'd like. And then pull up on the kneecap. Activate the quad. Your glute is working. And the flex of the foot reminds you to get everything working together. Inhale here. Keep breathing. Exhale to stay. Gently lower the leg back down, the hand back down. Come on back to that tabletop. Tuck the toes under, walk the hands out 2 or 3 inches. Before we get into down dog, just spread your fingers as wide as you can. Lift those knees up a tiny bit. Try to take the arch or the rounding out of the back. Find a flat back. Suck up on the belly button. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Drop the heels, bend the knees. Shift to the left and the right side if you like. Taking your dog for a walk to start. And then we start to clean it up. Toes and knees and heels are tracking forward. Heels reaching down towards the mat. And then the fingers are spread wide, pressing down into the mat. Shoulders are way behind your wrists as your hips lift up into this upside down V. And you can play around with straightening the legs and then bending them or staying one way or the other, whatever's best for you. Just work into breathing as deeply as you can all the way down to the pelvic floor. Turn those elbows up towards the ceiling. Wrap the upper arm muscles, the triceps, the outer arm muscles, around the bone and down towards the mat. Activate. Inhale here. Exhale, shift forward to a plank pose. Shoulders over wrists, hips in line with the shoulders or slightly below. Take any peaks and valleys out of the back, so I don't want your back arched or rounded. Try to find length all the way from the tailbone out the crown of the head. Press into the hands a lot, and then lower the knees. This time, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin, booty in the air, squeeze the shoulders, the elbows in by your side, and then drop the hips. Baby cobra. Hips drop down to the mat, tops of feet to the mat. Inhale that chest forward, take a breath or two here. Squeeze the elbows in by your side. And then exhale, lower the knees, tuck the toes. Through bent knees, press back to downward facing dog. When you get there, exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale to stay. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Try to bring your right heel towards your right butt cheek, really gently though. If you feel yourself putting weight into the left hand and sort of torquing the torso, try to turn the upper body back to the same way it was in downward facing dog. So equal weight in the right and left hands, even if it means closing your hip a little. One more breath in. Exhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, knee to nose, and then step that right foot through. Drop the back knee. We're in this low lunge. Come up to your fingertips. Look forward. Just take a few breaths here, breathing into the left hip. Then gently bring the left hand down to be flat on the mat or a block. Inhale, twist. Right hand reaches up. Try to twist from the belly. Roll that right shoulder over the left. Inhale here. Exhale to step. Deep inhale, and then exhale, bring that right hand back down. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. We're moving to a horizon lunge. So I want you to, at the same time as you reach your right hand up and back, shift onto your left and right pinky edge of the foot. So your left hip drops down a little, and then that right arm reaches up and back. Press into the outside of the left foot a lot so that your hip doesn't drop too much. And then keep pressing into that right foot as well. Pinky edge of the foot. Both of the arches are off of the mat. A lot of activation here. Squeeze up on that left hip and twist. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, slowly come back to that low lunge. So I want you to remember that activation feeling in the horizon lunge, because we're going to use it when we move into a full side plank coming out of our flows. So one more time here, guys. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift the weight to the knife edge of both feet. Reach that right hand back. Horizon lunge. Gently come on back to low lunge. Awesome. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, pick up that right foot and step it back to plank. And then lift the hips for downward facing dog. Lots of activation already. A lot of little things you can work on in that low lunge pose and horizon lunge pose. So just keep breathing into it as you focus on those little things. Inhale, the left leg lift, toes point. Exhale, open the hip. Bend the knee, drop that left heel towards the left butt cheek. And again, if your weight shifted to the right hand, try to square your torso back with the mat. Equal weight in both hands, even if it closes the hip a little bit. This is just a gentle hip opener to start. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog. Inhale to look forward, toes point. Exhale, knee towards nose. Step the left foot through. Drop the back knee and just come up under the fingertips. Take a few breaths here in this low lunge. Letting the weight fall towards the front a little bit to find that hip opener on the right side. Breathe here. Right hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, left hand reaches up, twist, twisting from the belly. So you may have felt that right hip tuck under a little and that left knee sort of open up. Keep the left knee in line with the ankle. Try to square the right hip again and just twist from the belly here. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down. Back heel lifts, hands frame the foot. And then we move again to that horizon lunge. So slowly sweep the arm forward. Shift the weight onto the knife edge of both feet. Left hand reaches back. You're looking back. Now that right hip may drop a little. That's cool. You'll get a little bit more of a stretch on the left side. But also try to lift that right hip a little bit, just so that we're activating here. Warming up in this pose. You'll feel it, I think, in the outside of your left leg. If you're pressing that left pinky edge of the foot into the mat, one more breath in. Exhale, come on back, low lunge. Now again, we're using this activation for shifting to side plank in our next flow. So let's go ahead and do that one breath, one movement. Inhale, left hand reaches up, and then back. It's like you're drawing a rainbow. You're on the knife edge of your feet. Slowly come on back to that low lunge. Don't rush it. Take the time for the transitions. Press the hands into the mat. Inhale to look forward. Step that right foot back. Another option for your flow here. Inhale, press away from the mat. Shift the shoulders slightly ahead of the wrists. Exhale, half push up down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, tops of feet to the mat. Heart reaches through. Press into the tops of those feet, pull up on the kneecaps. Drop the hips. Heart shines through. Exhale, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Nice work, everyone. Little things starting to warm up the body here for you. We move on to our next sequencing part. I don't even have to tell you that. We just move on. Inhale, the right leg lifts, toes point. Exhale, right knee towards right elbow or tricep. Twist, shoulders over wrists. Inhale to lift, really slowly, guys. Exhale, right knee towards right elbow or tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. And then step that right foot through, low lunge. Come to your fingertips. Inhale, the right hand lifts. twist. Now, before we move up, right toes and knee track forward, right knee is no further forward than the right ankle. And your feet are on railroad tracks for that low lunge. We're gonna press into the feet and slowly come into a twisted high crescent. Inhale, lift that right hand up, and then slowly rise. Right hand is reaching back, left hand forward, you're twisted in your high crescent. Those legs, the framework that you set, are still bent here in the front leg, straightening in the back. One more breath in for the twist. Exhale, right hand reaches up, high crescent lunge, nice. Inhale to look up, exhale, hands come down to your heart. Inhale, press those thumbs into your sternum. Just find a little back bend and look up. Find a point on the ceiling or the top of the wall to focus on. Take a few breaths here, sit a little lower in that low lunge. Exhale, sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the mat to frame the foot and keep them there. Now, we're shifting back to a side plank. So remembering that horizon lunge, you shift to the left knife edge of the foot, reach that right foot back on top of the left, and then inhale, right hand reaches up. Lift that left hip up as much as you can to push up the right, and imagine your back is flat against a wall behind you. Right foot is stacked on top of left. You can always do that supported side plank if you prefer. Option to lift the right foot up. Flex the foot. Balancing here, one more breath, guys. Exhale, gently lower the right foot if it's up. Right hand comes down, shift to a plank, and go through either flow that you learned. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale again. Inhale, that left leg lifts, toes point. Exhale, left knee towards right elbow, twist, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, press back, three-legged dog. Left elbow towards left tricep knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose, step that foot through. Stay here in this low lunge. Come to your fingertips. Get your feet set up, so left toes and knee track forward. Left knee is no further than the left ankle. If it's further, your knees way past your ankle, widen your stance. Walk your foot up a little. Activate here through the legs. Press the whole left foot into the mat and the right ball of the foot. Inhale to twist, left hand reaches up. Gently start to lift your right fingertips off the mat. Come to a twisted high crescent. Slowly with the breath, twisting from the belly. You're pulling that right hip forward and the left hip back. Sitting low into that lunge. Arms are wide open. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale, come on back to center. Arms reach up. Hands come down to your heart on the exhale. Press the thumbs into your sternum, that bone in the middle of your chest. Inhale, little back bend, look up. Find a spot on the ceiling or the high wall to focus on. Sit lower into that lunge, breathe. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Inhale, the arms sweep up, look up. Exhale, frame the foot. Hands come down. We shift to right side plank. Press the right hand into the mat, step the left foot back onto the right, and then gently lift the left hand. We're lifting that right hip up to push the left hip up. Left hip stacked on top of right. One long line of energy from the right palm, out the left fingertips. Option to lift that left leg in line with the hip. Flex the foot. Balance and breathe. Always keep the foot down. One more breath in. Exhale, left foot comes down. Shift to a plank. And go through a flow or meet us straight in downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, come to your tippy toes. And then exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Legs are closed this time. Just come to a little child's pose here. Forehead to the mat. Hips towards your heels. Take 3 breaths here. Refocus. Recenter. Back to your intention. We're focusing on the little things that you can control. Gently roll up. Not too fast. You don't want all the blood rushing out of your head. And then swing the legs out in front of you. Bring the feet, the bum to the middle of the mat, and the feet wide. So your toes are right at the edge of your mat, as are your heels. Toes are pointing out a little bit. Heels slightly in. And then I just want you to bring your hands behind you. Lift your chest a little. Start to walk your hands up closer to your bum. Feel a hip opening here. Just pressing those feet into the mat. Now, with your hands on the mat, next option, bump your hips up a little bit. Walk the hands up to meet them. Hold and breathe. Bump your hips up a little more if you can. Walk those hands up to meet them. We're moving to Malasana or a garland pose. If you want to stay with your booty on the ground and breathe into this, yogi's choice, you do it. You're coming to Malasana. Gently bring your hands out in front, lift the bum off the ground. You're in a low Malasana here. Bring the elbows to the inside of the legs. Press those elbows into the legs to push the knees open. Hands come to your heart. Your heels are off the ground, that's okay. Just keep your heart over your hips. So if you're way high up, everyone's hips are different, that's fine. You just want that heart up and to keep using the legs or the arms to push open the hips. Squeeze those legs into the arms. Find that counter force. We're activating here with your adductors. So you're squeezing in. Breathe here in Malasana, you got it. And then gently, everybody, bring their hands down to the mat. Drop your bum back onto the mat gently. Bring your legs into center, close the hips. Get those sits bones rooted onto the mat, walk the heels in. And then the arms reach out long in front of you. Stay here with your boat ducked or lift the heels. Stay here, lengthen through the lower back, or lift the heels to a tabletop, legs to a tabletop, knees touching, toes touching, maybe the knees are slightly apart. Don't lose the integrity of the lower back. So if you start to dump into your lower back and round the spine, dock your boat again. Keep lifting if you're in boat. Option to straighten the legs too. I never get really straight, but I always like to try it because they're a little tiny bit straighter every time. Keep lifting and squeezing and holding. You're shaking good. Breathe through it, smile. Lift for 3. Breathe for 2. Last one. Gently bring the feet down to the mat. Lower your upper body down onto the mat slowly. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open up for butterfly. You can adjust where your heels are, pulling them either closer to your groin or further away. It'll just give you a different sort of leverage or opening of the hip. The closer you get, maybe a little more intense. We've got 15 slow crunches here in this butterfly. So, just like we did yesterday if you were with us, imagine you had a bra on. If you are a woman, you may have a bra on. If you are my dad and listening to this as usual, you probably don't have a bra on. But imagine where your bra line is. I want you, when you're crunching, to lift your whole back and shoulders up to that bra line. Why do I say this? We're avoiding just crunching your neck up and down, which does nothing for the abs, nothing for the core. So, fingertips behind the head, press just your fingers just really gently into the back of the head, open the elbows as much as you can. I talked a lot, so you got a little break here. Get ready to breathe, do some slow crunches. Inhale here, exhale, lift the shoulders and the back off the mat, crunch. Inhale to lower, don't drop your head all the way down, exhale to lift. Keep the elbows open, crunch. Lower, really slowly, crunch, 10 more. Inhale, exhale, you have to control the ascent and the descent. You've got 8, 7, 6, lift that back. 5, you've got it. It's almost like you're lifting your chest up. 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Hold here, reach the arms forward. And do mini crunches for 10, 9, 8, pull 7, back up, 5, 4, 3, smile, 2, breathe, 1, and lower all the way down. Do you feel it in your upper abdominals, that pulse crunch, yeah? Can you send a few breaths there to just release the muscles, relax the tension? Good. Gently bring the knees in together. You can use your hands if you like. Bring the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. Roll to the left and the right, massage the lower back. Awesome. We have got a bridge pose, some supine twists, and then we're going home. So bring your feet down to the mat, knees reach up, hips width distance apart with the feet, heels back towards the bum, not all the way. Hands by your side, tuck those thumbs under the bum, press the back into the mat, lift the hips. Option to walk the shoulder blades together and interlace the hands, pressing the pinky edge of the hands into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Press the feet into the mat. You may feel your chest move closer to your chin. Don't look left or right. Keep looking up. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Press into the legs. Squeeze your butt cheeks up. Press into the legs. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Hold in this high bridge that you're in and breathe for 5. I hope you hear yourself for 4. In through the nose, out through the mouth for 3. 2. Last inhale to lift. And exhale slowly. Try not to move the knees. Gently lower the hips all the way down. Hands out to a T or a cactus. Gently windshield wipe the knees. Really slowly releasing the lower back. To the left. The right. The left. The right. Then when they fall to the left, just let them drop. Take your gaze to the right. That right knee might be suspended in midair, and the left knee closer to the ground. Bend that lower back. Gently switch sides, knees to the right, gaze to the left, close the eyes, press that left shoulder into the middle. Gently bring the knees back to center. Bring them into your chest, bring your forehead to your knees, give yourself a huge squeeze. And then gently lower your back down onto the mat. You come into final Shavasana, corpse pose, or Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining down angle, which means your feet would be touching in a butterfly, your knees falling open. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And take your final rest. If you're in corpse pose, reach your legs out long, toes fall out. Palms are by your side, facing up. Everyone close the eyes, let the body be empty. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Unclench your jaw. stay in the Shavasana for as long as you'd like. You're ready to be walked out. Bring the knees together and then into your chest. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Big morning stretch. Exhale, roll to either side, fetal position. Let your ear rest on your bicep like a little pillow. Put one hand down on the mat and then the other. Gently press yourself up to a seat on a block or the mat, legs crossed, uncrossed, whatever is best for you. Sukhasana, easy pose. Palms face up or down on the knees, spine is tall, shoulders down. Take 3 breaths together to end the class. Exhale all the air out. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. Through the nose, exhale. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Sip a little more. Open the mouth slowly. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, press palms. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. Namaste, you guys. Thank you for joining.